Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports.
We are back in the studio, live on YouTube, live on the radio. Shout out to KUBU Radio 96.5 FM. We are back live. I got my boys in the studio with me, Luke and Devin. How we feeling today?
As good as ever. I was a little bummed out from that Pacers loss. I was really bummed out from that Pacers loss, but no, I'm excited to talk basketball. Excited to talk about all things sports right now. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Dev, how you feeling over there?
Yeah, also a little bummed out. You know, it might be over. Let me just say that. I don't want it to be, but it might be. But also, you know, little mixed feelings because, you know, Giants got action. So I'm ready.
Yeah, your Giants finally made a move, man. They finally made a move to get a big bat in that middle of the order. So big moves. Shout out to Buster Posey for, making that great trade. I think that was a great trade for you guys going forward. Also, Rafael Devers is signed for 8 years.
Yeah.
So you guys have him for a long time, and he's still, in his prime. So that's a big move. Shout out to Diego in the chat. Beam City at the beach. Dev, you're ducking Diego?
Huh?
You're ducking Diego?
What, is that what he said?
Yeah.
You're at the beach, bro. So, like, if I was home, it wouldn't matter anyway.
Oh, you probably got to play him in Madden, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
we got a game.
He's probably going to
I'm going to see you later.
He'll see you on the sticks. But yeah, Beam City Sports, we are back live on YouTube. Today we're going to be going over the NBA Finals. It is now 3-2. The Thunder are in the lead.
Boo.
They're one game away from winning it all, man. I've been doubting them all year. Shout out to Jalen Williams. Been doubting him all year as well. Got to just admit when you're wrong, man, because I've just been flat out wrong. He definitely is good enough to be the second best player on a championship team. And, he's proving that every game so far in this series. And it looks like he's only getting better and better.
Yeah, no, it's I think he heard you talking, so he had to turn up for pretty much the whole playoffs too. Like, I mean, he's been that secondhand guy for Shea to go off whenever. I mean, Shea's been going off this whole playoff, so he doesn't really need to go in. But Jalen Williams is showing why he's going to be another face of the league for the next years to come.
Yeah, it's scary what the Thunder are doing. Shout out to Shea as well. I think he already has the most points ever in a playoff run from any guard in NBA history. So, crazy stats from Shea. The NBA is different now, a lot more scoring, a lot more pace and all that. But still, that's very impressive because the guys on that list are Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, Jerry West, all those guys. So it's a big playoffs for Shea. And he's really showing the world why he's, a top 3 player in the whole league.
Yeah. No, 100%. And just looking back at that game 5, like, I'm not going to go too far into it right now, but Pacers were on their heels the whole time. Like, I mean, they did at the end, they came back, they made it within 2 and everything, but they just looked a step slow the whole game.
Yeah, they really did. From the jump, you could really tell the Thunder wanted this game. The crowd was into it from the beginning as well. I like how the NBA, showed the starting lineups for the first time.
Yep,
Maybe they were listening to you.
Finally.
Yeah, they showed the starting lineup, so that made it a little more hype before the game started. But yeah, I think this finals, I hope it goes 7. I'm hoping that the Pacers come out at home in game 6 and win tomorrow. But, it's looking tough because that Thunder team is clicking on all cylinders. And they're pretty unbeatable when they're all locked in like that.
Well, and somebody finally won, 2 games back to back. It's been back and forth, 1 and 1 and 1. And so kind of feel like now it was whichever team was going to win the first back to back. And it finally happened this late into the series. So, I mean, they got the advantage, but, shout out to Indiana, the fans. They're going to be going crazy there, and they're going to do whatever they can to help out the Pacers. But I'm just hoping we see an exciting game 6.
Yeah.
So,
definitely agree.
Do you guys know the last time the NBA aired the starting lineups for the finals?
2018. 13. Yeah.
Miami
13?
Heat and the San Antonio Spurs in 2013.
Wow. That's been a long time.
It's been 10 years. More than 10 years.
More than 10 years, yeah.
Decade, man.
That's crazy. I swear during that Warriors Cavs they showed the starting lineups, but I could be wrong. I guess they didn't.
Yeah,
well,
no,
I think at least they did like the videos to like the Kendrick Lamar songs because the album just came out. Or
it's
whatever.
the first time live since 2013, since LeBron and Kawhi were going.
It's crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Those starting lineups in Miami were pretty fun to watch too. The Miami announcer, I really like how he does that, and having LeBron and D Wade and Bosh makes it even more exciting too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff happen since our last show. Desmond Bane got traded to your Orlando Magic, Luke. How you feeling? One of your favorite players in the league, and he's on the Orlando Magic.
I'm hyped about it.
Yeah.
I am hyped about it. Long story short, they did give up a bit of stuff, like considering 4 first-round picks.
Oh, yeah.
Luka got 2.
Luka barely got 2.
Luka barely got 2 first-round.
Yeah.
But Desmond, like you said, one of my favorite players especially Devin's favorite player too.
Oh, yeah, Devin loves Desmond Bane.
Yeah, but no, I think it's going to be a good time for Des. He looked super happy walking through the facilities and everything.
Yeah.
Said that's going to be the hardest jersey I ever put on for a while.
Hey, that jersey is clean.
And I mean, you
It
gotta
is.
say,
I
but
love those new jerseys.
dude was wearing some of the hardest Memphis Grizzlies jerseys ever.
True.
And
That was a shot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was definitely a shot.
And I remember seeing him dap up with the coach, and they said like that dap was heard in Memphis. Right
It
there.
was.
But I mean, 4 first-round picks. That's a big asking price right there for. I mean, he is a top shooting guard in the league.
Yeah.
100%.
No, that's a lot of draft capital. I mean, the Magic didn't give up too many, player assets. They were looking to get rid of KCP after the horrible year last year. Cole Anthony, he's a solid guy, but they could go without him, having some other backup points. So I'm excited to see how good they're going to be next year.
Getting rid of KCP, I know I said at the beginning of the year that KCP was going to be a top 10 shooting guard in the league. Was not that.
Not even close.
So I like this upgrade a whole lot.
Definitely. Orlando got the guy they wanted. They need 3-point shooting, and that's definitely what Desmond Bane, will bring to the team.
They're in a win now mode.
Yeah,
They're not.
I mean, if you look at it like that, then F them picks.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Who was that? Was that Rob Plinka?
I feel like Katie said that, or maybe
whoever
Rob
it was,
bro.
But because if they got a wide open kind of East next year. I mean, Tatum's gonna be hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics don't know what they're gonna do. They might still be there, but the way I see it, it's kind of wide open. So if they think they got the players and they just needed Desmond, and then screw the picks, right?
Yeah. You don't believe in the Pacers next year?
Huh? Oh, well, yeah, the Pacers will be there.
Pacers will be up there.
They'll be
sure.
there.
They'll be up there.
But yeah, the East, like you said, could be wide open. Orlando, looks like they're built to go on a run the next couple years.
Way too early prediction for me for Eastern Conference Final.
It's not.
You're saying Orlando?
Oh,
Pistons in Orlando.
Pistons in Orlando. Wow. Well, you heard it here first. Next year, one of those two teams are going to the finals.
I like that.
I wouldn't be mad.
I think they're ready for it.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think they're ready.
But yeah, we'll go to Game 5, man. The Thunder won it 120-109. Jalen Williams with a 40-piece, 6 rebounds and 4 assists. Went 9 of 12 from the free throw line. Also went 3 of 5 from 3. So a huge night out of JDub. Can't say much more, man. He was just getting out in transition. I think he had 23 fast break points by himself.
Yeah.
And that's just, wrecking havoc on defense and getting out and running, being faster than everyone else. So.
That's a thing that, like, again, Pacers had a terrible time with the turnovers.
Yeah.
And we said that earlier in the series, that's going to be their death. And they had 22 turnovers, 11 more than the Thunder.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I like the 3 of 5 from 3, but the 12 free throws, 9 of 12, like if he can, develop that part of his game, you're not always going to get calls like that, especially as a young player. But if he could kind of, develop that part of his game a little bit more, then, I mean, he's going to be crazy, like you said, a face for the next, few years.
Mm-hmm.
Is he already top 20 in the league? Is Jalen Williams 20? A top 20 player?
After this playoff
Probably,
run,
yeah.
Like
recency bias, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
recency bias is crazy,
like,
but he might be.
If we put a whole list of players out right now, then maybe we can go through and take 20 people that are better than him.
Offseason's going to be crazy with the rankings.
Right now, off the top of my head, it's like there's no reason why not to put him up there.
Yeah, I mean, around that 20th spot is where you get to that weird, like Jaylen Brown's in that range,
Mm-hmm.
all those other guys in that kind of range that are like number 2 options, but they're really, really, really good number 2 options. So it's tough to put them like lower than 20. But yeah, Jalen Williams is showing the world why he is built for this moment. I remember watching him in the offseason going through his workouts, and this was like 2 years ago, actually, when he was training with his trainer, posting videos on YouTube saying how much he's putting in work and, how much he believes in his game. And I wasn't a full believer. I really wasn't. I was like, man, I don't know if his game is going to translate. We've seen some games this playoffs where, he'll have 8 points and go 2 of 16 from the field, but he's always going to get his shot attempts up and he's always going to be aggressive, unlike the guy on the other team who's going to go nights where he doesn't get his shots up and he's not aggressive, and that's Tyrese Haliburton. So that's the difference, is the Pacers have a guy like Haliburton who they can't really depend on every single night to, get the shot attempts up.
Yeah.
I would have rather seen Haliburton, instead of going 0 for 6, why not go 0 for 16? I would have rather seen 0 for 16 than 0 for 6.
Yeah. No, I remember saying something like that last week. It's just keep shooting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, keep shooting. And obviously that calf strain didn't help a lot, but he was already cold before that.
Yeah.
He wasn't making anything before that. So
yeah, that's kind of scary. Like, he had the tape there too. I mean, it's like the Achilles area, so you kind of want to be careful with that. I think, they maybe should have went to TJ McConnell and just put him in there and got Tyrese out. I mean, if he's not going to be aggressive and he's not making shots the little that he's taking, I mean, that could have been something that they did, and maybe something that they go to in Game 6 if that Achilles calf issue becomes a problem and becomes a problem. But they could just go to TJ, and if he's playing like that,
he did go. He went off last in the game. He went 18, 4 and 4, and he showed up right when Tyrese went out.
And that's why you would have liked to probably seen him a little bit more in those minutes that Tyrese wasn't out there doing anything. I mean, he already had 18, 4 assists, moving the ball well, and then the 2 steals. So
that quick pull up that you say like all the time,
that mid range,
that mid range, he rises up higher than anybody.
Yeah,
like Miles or not. Chet was trying to block him, and it was just like going right over his hands.
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
When TJ's cooking, man, he's a different player. And I definitely agree with you, Dev. I would have loved to see TJ McConnell play more minutes. He had 18 points and only played 22 minutes in this game. Tyrese Haliburton, closed out the game and all this stuff, and they took TJ out in the fourth quarter when he was, feeling good about himself. And Tyrese just didn't have it this night. He just didn't have it. You could tell he was just not being aggressive. They were trapping him on every pick and roll. There was really nothing he could do. Shout out to TJ McConnell, Randy in the chat saying that. But I definitely think TJ McConnell should have played more minutes. Even if Tyrese is out there, Andrew Nembhard wasn't giving you anything last game.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see TJ play at least 30 minutes last game. Having 18 points and only 22 minutes, he was the only reason the Pacers were in this game. He brought them back in the third quarter. He went on a huge run all by himself. And Randy shouting out his sister once again. So shout out to TJ. But yeah, I definitely think he should have played a lot more minutes in this game. And Rick Carlisle, he trusts his guys, but TJ, he had it going, man. You got to play him closing out that game.
And then, I mean, obviously Pascal had a phenomenal game.
He did
with them, and he helped that third quarter comeback when they went down by 2. That block down low, and then he came back, and then they missed the shot. I forgot. I think it was Matherin in the corner who missed the 3, and then Pascal was out in the out on the elbow, got the ball back and hit the 3, 2-point game. Apparently, Jalen Williams had no idea they were down. They were only up by 2.
Yeah, I did hear him say that.
Yeah, he was just like, I had no idea.
Shout out JR.
But that's when he locked up his defense. Like they went down by 2, and then Jalen Williams got like 2 quick or a steal, and then Caruso came up with a steal, sealed the game right there.
Man,
yeah,
that Thunder defense is really tough to beat. They're gonna press you. They're gonna put all their they're going to reach on you. They're going to foul you, but the refs can't call every single foul. And that's what makes it tough. If you're fouling from minute 1, then the refs can't call every single foul. Yeah. That's why you got to be aggressive from the get. And you got to, force turnovers like they do. And they just have all the right pieces like Caruso, Case and Wallace with a huge night. All these other guys, Lou Dort. You can never get by Lou Dort.
They can close with whoever they want.
Yeah.
Because they're, Shea's always going to be on the court. And then with the way Caruso's been playing. And I mean, you can even throw Dort out there. I mean, sometimes he's going to go 0 for 13, but sometimes he's going to go 8 for 8. So they could really they could just close with whoever they want because of Shea and, Caruso, in my opinion. So it's so tough. And then especially in the fourth quarter when you're already down trying to get something going, Tyrese has been, bad all night. It's just, they had control of that whole game mostly until, like you said, the 2-point game. But it's tough to watch.
I had faith that the Pacers were going to do something crazy in this game. Once they came back and they just ended up taking TJ McConnell out and putting Hallie back in there, and Hallie just didn't have anything going this game. It was really tough to watch from, someone rooting for the Pacers.
Honestly, like even when they were down by 2 in my head, I was like,
you didn't think?
I didn't think it was going to happen just because the pace of the game, they were catching up still. They were trying to figure out where to go. I mean, down low, they were kind of just shoving. They were like, "Hey, get out there, there," and nobody was communicating on either side of the court. Just because when they turned the ball over, first they got to sprint back and they're already down on their heels, and then they foul Shea, get him to the line, and OKC.
That's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. And then OKC is like going back a little bit. They're showing why defense wins championships. Like we can say all these scorers are going to win the game for them, but those last 3 minutes right there of the Thunder just clamping up, won them the game. So
definitely agree with that. They were locking up when it mattered most. But Shea also had a big night. He had 31 points, 10 assists after having 0 assists in the last game. Also had 2 steals and 4 blocks out of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Is he a defensive god? I guess so. 4 blocks out of Shea. That's crazy.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. Some of them were at the end of the shot clock and everything, but he did block Tony Bradley, the backup center, on one fast break where Tony Bradley was all alone, tried to do a little Euro step on Shea, and then Shea just, tipped it away. But like you said, 13 of 14 from the line for Shea is pretty tough to stop. You know,
Yeah.
those guys on Indy still haven't figured him out.
Yes, you could say whatever you want, but when you only go 9 for 21, but you still end up with 30 because you're hitting your free throws and getting to the line with efficiency. I mean, it's unstoppable. You can't do anything about it, and you can't sit there and cry about it, even though we will, because it's the fun thing to do. But yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah. So it's
tough.
Tough for Nemhard.
It's tough. And
it is.
Just looking at the stats, the team stats of the game, again, everything was super, super even.
It was.
And then you just look at the turnovers, and it jumps up by 11. And then everything else, like Pacers had the same shooting spread pretty much. They were shot better on the field overall. They missed three more threes, but they shot less. Free throws, they have the same amount of free throws.
We can't even say, can't even say the free throws determined it.
Grabbed more rebounds, assists, blocks. I mean, they did get killed on blocks too.
Yeah.
And then turnovers. That's
turnovers.
That's the being down 10.
Pacers
turnovers.
Pacers had 22 turnovers. Thunder had 11, and then the Thunder had 32 points off those turnovers, and JDub had 23 of those points off turnovers, and the Pacers only had 9 points off turnovers. So the Thunder just get out and run. They get a steal on you. They get out, push the pace, and they're really tough to stop. But in the half-court offense, I would love to see the Pacers just make sure anyone but Shea or JDub beats you, because they're going to those two guys every time, and they're going to ISO and get to the rim whenever they want. I would like to see you double off Lou Dort, you double off Chet, you double off Caruso, because Caruso didn't have a big night, but then Cason Wallace had 11 points after not hitting a three all finals. He went 3 of 4 from 3 this game.
2 of them in the first quarter.
2 of them in the first quarter. And we know what Aaron Wiggins does in OKC.
Oh, yeah.
The sliders are turned up in OKC for Aaron Wiggins. He's only had big nights at home in this whole playoffs, pretty much. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Not Andrew's brother, by the way.
I
thought it for a long
last
time.
Week.
I did think it for a long time, too. But yeah, so the Thunder, I mean, they didn't really have any big nights besides their 2 main pieces. So if I'm the Pacers, I'm just next game, I'm letting anyone else beat me besides JDub and Shea. You're doubling both those guys, and you can't leave either one when you go double. You have to pick your poison of who you're going to leave.
I like it as long as they're not fouling on any Shea Gilgeous drives.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a pretty good game plan.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. They just got to play faster. I mean, that's the thing. Like I said, they were playing on their heels the whole time. And then, I mean, I don't know if I completely agree on. Yeah, I mean, double whenever you can, whenever you get the chance. But there were moments when I saw Tyrese kind of backing off the corner specialist, and he goes down and helps down low. It's like, Tyrese, you're not going to help. You're going to foul down there. Stay out in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to pick a guy to leave open too, like, make sure it's not a good shooter, and it's not just a good shooter that was like, oh, you went 0 for 8 last game, we're going to stay off you, because it's like it's not going to last for that long for a good shooter. Yeah. Like you especially if they're getting wide open looks and every time, I mean, it just goes to warm ups for them basically. So if you're going to leave somebody, leave Lou,
Leave Lou. I agree. But role players play better at home. We all know this, and it's been showing all playoffs, all series for sure. So I think next game in game 6, if the Pacers want to win, they're going to have to live with some other guys. They're going to have to live with Caruso. In last game, Caruso couldn't hit anything. So maybe he does it again. Like, role players play better at home. So maybe in Indiana, that crowd gets into their head a little bit.
I hope so.
I do hope so. I really want this to go 7. But yeah, Pascal, you mentioned it, Luke, 28 points, 3 steals, 2 blocks, a big night for him. He's been consistent all playoffs. And TJ McConnell with 18 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals. Big night for him. But then Tyrese Haliburton with only 4 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 0 of 6 from the field, 0 of 4 from 3, and 3 turnovers. Horrible night for our guy, Tyrese Haliburton. Just sucks to see.
Yeah.
He is hurt.
He is hurt a little bit, but I mean, that didn't come until the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like, he could have stepped up that whole first half. And I mean, as much as we want to say, like, it's on the turnovers and the free throws and stuff, but Tyrese kind of lost him the game there.
He did.
Like, you need 20 from Tyrese. They lost by 11 right there.
If the Pacers want to do anything any night, it's based around Tyrese aggressiveness. And when he scores over 20 points, they're pretty much unbeatable. Their record is crazy when he scores over 20, but he just doesn't do it a lot. And we know he has the tools to do it. He's not aggressive enough.
The thing that sucks, though, is I saw a video this morning. Tyrese hasn't made 1 shot with his left hand this whole final.
Bro, Jeff Teague has been saying that for months now, that Tyrese doesn't go left.
He doesn't go left.
He doesn't go left.
His layups are all like floaters coming in from the outside.
Yeah.
And then when he shoots from the left side, it's like a step back three.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, but it's not even his left hand that he's
No,
still
he never scores with his left
He
hand.
need a midi game.
He needs a midi game.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
His mid-range, he's shooting 50% on threes.
Is fine, but he
doesn't
doesn't
shoot
go
him.
to the left side.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's easy to guard. And,
If he goes in, he's going to the right for a
Jalen
layup.
Brown part 2.
yeah, I mean, he's going right. Tyrese is going right, but it is crazy that he hasn't made a left-hand layup all
Mhm.
Oh,
playoffs.
that was crazy. Well, I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah, but
That sounds like me.
exactly. But I mean, he did. It reminds me of Chris Paul because Chris Paul didn't really go left either. Chris Paul always trying to get to that right. Every single time he's going to that fadeaway, he's going right. And that's the same thing with Tyrese. Both those guys, they pass better going right. They're
Mhm.
quicker going right. They finish better going right. You just got to
For CP,
expand your game.
CP, he's got the fadeaway.
Yeah.
Tyrese, if he's going right, he's going for a layup, a floater. So I mean, it's
or
a little
passing
bit.
out.
Yeah, so it's a little bit easier when
True.
CP he will he can go slow or fast. So I mean,
Yeah.
if he could get like a move like that, a fadeaway, or just a pull up midi to kind of stop them from baiting you to do one thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be a lot better than he is right now. And I think
Yeah.
that's the reason he's kind of not scoring as much.
Yeah. That's a good point. And I like that you brought that up because he doesn't go
He
left.
doesn't go
It's
left.
actually
And
crazy.
I like that Chris Paul comparison, but at the same time, it's just like Chris Paul he's right now in his career or in his prime,
Yeah.
much more of a
Bum.
polished player.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, Chris Paul's one of the best point guards
Yeah.
of all time. I don't know if we can
So
say that about Hallie.
His style when he's going down low with his right hand and
Yeah.
everything, like Chris Paul was way more unpredictable
Mhm.
than Tyrese
That's-
is right now.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
So I mean, right now when you see Tyrese go down low, you are expecting him to go up and
Yeah.
put it up as a layup.
Yeah.
With Chris Paul, it was just like, who knows what this guy's gonna do?
Yeah.
He can
you sit there and
maneuver his
wait to
body
hit the
down
Y
low,
button.
and
Yeah.
So I like that comparison, but I just
Uh-huh.
don't think Tyrese is near where Chris Paul was at his peak.
yeah. I mean, Tyree's still young. Maybe he can get there.
I think he has
But-
he has the potential.
Yeah.
He definitely has.
But I
potential.
definitely like that he does need to develop that pull-up midi or
He's got
something
the-
to keep the defense honest.
he's got the tools to kind of work in that area too. I mean, he's longer than most point guards.
Mhm.
I mean, he's not overly tall, but I mean, just the length
The
kind of
length.
makes him look taller than he is.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's kind of that's why KD's so good in the mid range because he's, even though it says 6'9", he's really 7'1" and can just shoot over anybody he wants to at
Yeah.
any time. So that's why his mid range game is so good. So I feel like he needs to get down there a little bit more.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Well, another guy who I've been expecting a big night out of and it still hasn't shown up is Andrew Nembhard. He only had 7 points last night, 3 of 8 from the field and 4 turnovers. It seemed like in that fourth quarter, every single time Nembhard touched the ball, it was either a brick or a turnover. And I think it was a fact. Every time he touched the ball in the fourth, it was a brick or a turnover.
Yeah.
So you can't have that from one of your main guys.
3 for 8 from field goal and 0 for 2 from 3.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. And then I'm pretty sure he had more turnovers than he had shots. So
He did, yeah, 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
Andrew Nembhard, he's one of the smartest players. And, I also like that he's always, smiling and trying to stay positive about things. But when you're turning the ball over 3 times in a row in the fourth quarter,
You gotta get mean.
you're still laughing. I
Gotta get
don't love
mean.
seeing that on the TV. I would rather you
Yeah,
be
that
pissed
would,
off and lock in a little more.
That makes me so mad.
Yeah, when your team messes up and then you see guys laughing, not the best sight.
Malik on the bench.
Oh
at the end of the
man,
season.
oh man.
Dude, don't say that.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, before we move on, TJ McConnell did have 13 points in the third quarter, made it a 5-point game. And then the Pacers cut it to 2 points in the fourth quarter, and then Jalen Williams took over.
Yeah.
So that was the story of the game. And the Pacers were down 18 at one point. Pacers were down 18 in the second quarter. Didn't look good, but hey, TJ McConnell, if Tyrese is out next game, TJ might have to go for 35.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pascal's going to have to go for 45.
Pascal 45, TJ 35.
Nembhard's going to have to hit 3 threes, 4 threes.
Yeah. Well, some crazy stats on JDub. He had 40. He joins Russell Westbrook as only player in OKC history to score 40 points or more in an NBA Finals game. So shout out to your boy Russ.
Shout
He
out.
scored 40 in the finals
Mhm.
as a second-year player, Russell Westbrook.
Pretty sure.
That he did. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Against the Miami Heat, Russell Westbrook
Yeah.
had 40 points.
Yeah.
Remember-
he's nice.
stop
Yeah.
thinking-
He was nice.
I just have
Oh.
an image
No, he's still nice. My bad.
burned in my brain of KD, James Harden, and Russ standing on the sideline watching it lose. watching
Yeah.
them lose.
Yeah.
Laughing.
They're like, we'll be back.
No, they were crying.
They were. See, yeah, they weren't laughing. They said,
that's-
we'll be back, and they weren't back.
And KD was gone.
You mean
No,
something
Harden
to
was
me,
gone.
Harden was
man.
gone,
Yeah.
and then KD was gone.
But yeah, JDub also becomes the third youngest player over the last 50 years with 40 points or more in a finals game. Third youngest player. And also Shea made some history as well. He became the first player to have 30 points, 10 assists, 4 blocks in an NBA Finals game since 1973. All of these stats are crazy.
Damn.
Since Wilt.
Since Wilt, pretty much, when they didn't count.
When they didn't count.
And then Jalen Williams and Shea together joined KD and Russ in 2012 as the last pair of teammates under 27 to combine for 70 or more points in a finals game.
Hard.
OKC is there's some geniuses out there,
They
man.
are.
They got it.
They
know
got
what
it.
They're doing.
They got it. They got
Yeah.
it. Their front office got it. Well, also one more thing. Shea was talking about Alex Caruso, and he said when he speaks, everyone listens. Even though Caruso had a horrible night, he still was locking up on defense and kind of, leading that second unit. So shout out to Caruso, man, the vet. He's only 31 years old, and he's the oldest player on that Thunder team.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
That's Matthew Dellavedova.
Dude did terrible on offense last night, but he
Yeah.
came away with 4 steals and a block.
He's the LeBron James of Matthew Dellavedova.
Yeah.
He is,
That's
actually.
good.
That's a good comparison.
That-
The LeBron James of Matthew Dellavedova.
So
So he's the
who's-
Best Matthew Dellavedova.
So who's Matthew Dellavedova?
He's the Matthew Dellavedova of Matthew Dellavedova. Or he's the TJ McConnell's up there too in that category. TJ's in that category.
I'm putting Matthew Dellavedova as Jordan. and
Keon
then-
Ellis is
and then
Jordan
it's
of Matthew
Dellavedova.
Dellavedova. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully next year. Well, Game 6 preview. Is Tyrese going to play? And are the Pacers
Yeah.
going to force a Game 7?
Tyrese is gonna force himself to play.
He better play.
Like
I am scared though because KD had the similar thing and then he tore his Achilles in that 2019 series. When you play on a
Man.
hurt calf, bad things can happen.
Hey, it's the finals, bro.
It's the
Play until
finals.
it
it's the
goes.
finals.
Damn. So then
And-
he's going to miss all next year if he gets hurt.
If you win,
Dude's
Hey,
so what?
Dude's 24, 25.
Yeah.
Play, dude. Try and
They-
win a ring.
heal sooner, right?
Try and
Heal-
win a ring. Yeah.
Knock on wood,
younger, you
but-
heal faster.
he not going to Dre Greenlaw run
Yeah.
off on the side of the field and tears Achilles
Nah,
as he's running on.
I
his-
believe Tyrese will play. Like the way his run has gone this whole playoffs.
He has to.
There's no way he sits out and I'll rest for Game 7.
And he has to
They
take
need you, dude.
he has to take 15 or more shots.
Mhm.
I need it.
Yeah.
I really need Tyrese to come out aggressive. I'm
That's
saying
so
Pacers
burner.
win Game 6. Benedict
All right,
Mathurin, I need
they
another big
better-
night out of you.
Benedict Mathurin. They all need
Yeah.
to step up. They
Yeah.
need to have the same exact game as last game.
Mhm.
Just Tyrese score and don't turn the effing ball
Yeah.
over.
Exactly.
Make J-Dub have 40 again.
Yeah.
They could have won. They still could have won, and JDub could have had 40 if they just cleaned up their game.
They could have. Yeah, if they stopped Aaron Wiggins, they would have won that game. But Aaron Wiggins,
Unstoppable.
Saved
Casey
basketball.
Wallace didn't hit his threes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
they win that game.
A whole lot
so,
of what ifs.
So are we all saying Pacers force Game 7?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eh,
Bro, you've
Uh-huh.
been riding with Pacers the whole
Don't give up now, Deb. Don't give up now. One more.
nah, they got it.
Who got it? Pacers.
Pacers.
Okay. So we all predicted Game 7.
He's BS.
And then Game
No.
7, Luke, you said it last week. It's a whole new series.
it's a whole new series.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Thunder might crumble under the pressure.
That's
We
the
don't
thing.
know.
It's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They lost
It's
game
one
one.
game. If they lost Game 1, they crumbled.
They crumbled.
Well, so anything can happen. Pacers, you
Anything
better
can
force a
happen.
Game 7. I'm not ready for the season to be
They
over.
better not crumble like my Edmonton Oilers. Man. That sucks.
All right. Well, I guess we're moving on. Luke's Log of the Week.
Luke's Talk of the Week. Luke's Talk of the Week.
Wow.
Luke's Talk of the Week.
Wow.
Brought to you by Harmar Wines. Again, shout out to
Shout
Harmar
out.
Wines.
Shout out.
Luke's Talk of the Week. Talked about him all episode.
Yeah.
It's JDub.
It's JDub.
JDub. For this whole finals, I'm going for over his stats for the 5 games. 26 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and a steal. If SGA wasn't there, finals MVP him. Like if they win, he's finals MVP automatically. But SGA is putting up 30 points a game. He could have easily been my Luke's Lock of the Week.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said earlier, JDub is putting his face like into the top of the league right now. Shout out JDub. I wish we drafted him instead of Keegan at 4. Not gonna lie.
Man. Yeah. JDub is really what we thought Keegan could be. That's actually crazy.
Mhm. And I'm not going to take away from Keegan. He still has the potential and everything.
I think JDub is younger.
But JDub is younger. But like what?
It
A few
sucks.
months?
I don't know.
It's
but
like a few months. I'm not going to give him that by
Yeah.
that much. It's just, Keegan needs to put that confidence on.
Yeah, that JDub has all the confidence.
Has all it.
Even
dude's
if he
in his-
goes 2 for 16 one night, he's going to come out
And
and shoot 20 shots again. Next
looking
night.
at his career stats, it's gone up. So his minutes have only gone up by 3 ever
Yeah.
since the start of his career. He started at 30 minutes. Now he's at 32 minutes, 32 and a half minutes. He went from 14 points to 21 and a half points a game. His shooting's gone down by 2%. But then his rebounds have gone up a whole rebound. His assists have gone up 2 whole assists, and his steals have gone up like a whole steal.
Most improved.
Over his three years. Yeah, 100%. Like this dude's gonna be averaging 28 points in 2 years.
I definitely think he will too. And I've been saying he's not good enough to be a second option, and he might be good enough to be like a 1B,
Dude.
like a second first option. Like
Has there been a team with 2 30-point scores on like per year, like in a season?
2 30-point scorers? I don't think so. That's pretty tough to do.
SGA and JDub might be able to do it
Are they the best duo in the whole league
in the
That's the
future.
question.
Yes.
right now?
Right now, I'm not going to say
Well,
Who
whoever,
is?
whoever playing with Wemby.
That's-
Okay.
I mean,
De'Aaron, no,
like-
not De'Aaron. If they get KD, maybe.
that. I'm like,
Nah,
Not to
whoever's
It's-
playing with
I-
Wemby.
I don't know. Saying best duo, I can't really agree with that because
Tatum and Brown.
like there's a whole lot.
They
There's
did
a whole
lose.
lot. They lost, but not to OKC. They lost to
What
OKC.
about Jokic and Jamal? Are they still up there?
They're at the end of their little
Yeah.
duo thing.
Yeah.
But if we're doing 2v2, I would take someone like Jokic and Jamal. Just
Yeah,
because they have
2v2 is,
like-
is different.
yeah. But-
LeBron and Luca. Hey, that's actually
That's another-
facts.
that's
That's
another
actually
one right there.
facts. Damn. Shout out.
It's just
Did Braun and Kyrie do it?
They didn't average 30 each.
Keon and Jonas.
Keon and Jonas. Steph and Pods.
No.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
no
kidding.
way.
I'm kidding. In the chat, will the Pacers
Kuminga.
force a game 7? Let us know. Let us know. Will the Pacers force game 7? Because I think they will. All right. Well, that was Luke's lock of the week.
Looks like we
Got any bets?
No.
Okay. I wanted to bring this up. I don't know what his over or under is, but are we going over on Tyrese points next game
No.
after
No.
scoring 4 points? You guys are going under. What if
Going
it's like, oh, Randy said Pacers in 7. I hope so. If
If
what if it's like 16 and
I
a
was gonna
half?
say 16. Yeah,
What if it's like 19 and a half?
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Nah.
You're not going over?
I think he gets more.
He
I think
has
he's going to be
to.
assisting a lot. This
He
time.
has
I
to.
think he's going to be finding open teammates and getting the rest of the team involved.
Well, I really hope he steps up because they need a big night out of him. Oh, my ICU pick. I wonder if you guys can guess it.
Fix that.
We're
No,
going.
you're right there.
We're going with some baseball. Only focus on the A's here, not the Dodgers. We're going with my boy, Adam first base. Walk-off homer the other night. Nick Kurtz
Shout
with a
out.
walk-off bomb.
Huge.
Good pause.
Huge.
Pimp job.
Pimp job.
Hanging slider. Love to see it. Great night for the
Against
A's
the
the other night.
Sack.
That made it 4 in a row
Against the Astros.
against
too.
the Astros too. I was supposed to be at the game. I
Garbage.
wish I went to the game. We didn't go to the game. But
Why not?
too late notice. It was after a long night on Father's Day night. We
Son of a gun.
couldn't make it. Pause was sus. No, I had to pause a little bit on that. But shout out to the boy Nick. With some power over there at first base. This A's lineup is scary. Actually, they're ranked 9th in the entire MLB in offense. Where do you think the Giants rank?
Like 16th.
13.
Yeah, I was going to say like
Yeah.
12 or 13.
13. So yeah, shout out to Nick. The bomb. The A's did lose last night. We're gonna get into that in the next show. But
No. We don't have to talk about that.
but
No.
hey,
Huh?
they won 4 in a row. They won 4 in a
Won
row.
4 in a row.
Only 8.5 back of the wild card. Things can happen.
Kind of.
Moneyball
I
type of
mean,
year.
Hey,
coming
weren't
up.
they just 10
Yeah,
on Saturday?
8.5.
Hey,
They won 4 in a row,
now
baby.
the gap between first place of it's weird like that wild card and then like the first. I don't know.
Yeah, we're still 13 back
Still
of first
13
place in the
back of
West,
first
but then
place.
8.5 of the wild card. So I think the A's are gonna get hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're showing
Need a
it
win
right
today.
now. I
it's
need to win.
definitely gonna get
They
hot
need
in
to win.
Sac.
It's gonna get hot in
It's gonna
Sac.
be a whole lot
The
more
ball
bombs.
is flying in Sac as
Yeah.
well.
The ball flying.
All right. Well, moving on to Desmond Bane. He got traded to the Orlando Magic.
Boom.
A trade during the finals, though. That's what we got to talk about. I didn't even know that was possible. I didn't even know you could trade people during the finals, and I don't really like it.
That's tampering. That's
It-
got to be
it-
tampering.
I woke up and saw
they're
the
not
trade,
playing.
and I was like, but like you should just wait until the finals is over. In my opinion, it's
Yo.
taking away from the finals. Like on ESPN talk shows and even us right now, we should be still talking about the finals. It could go game 7, and we're talking about a trade about next year. I like the trade. I'm happy it happened, But also, I wish it didn't happen during the finals.
It's a business.
Yeah.
Like that's all. Like the NBA is trying to make money off of their finals and everything, but Orlando Magic are trying to be in the finals.
They are.
They're trying to be in the finals. So
there should be a rule where you have to wait, in my opinion.
Yeah, if there's no rule,
at least till the next day after the finals ends. Like, give me
or
one
they
day.
should have at least just like.
I think
Well,
this
I
just
know.
makes it more.
I know.
It could be like in the works. Like you could have the trade ready to be made, but like
Yeah.
fully doing it.
Nah, because then
Nah.
Shams would be on Twitter like, after the last game of the finals, this trade finna happen.
Well, and then also
I don't think he would do
the
that.
Magic won.
Nah, he's
Like I think Desmond was on the trading
scammer.
block. Like
Yeah.
100%.
Also, I
So-
wonder who else offered for Desmond Bane.
Well, that's the thing is like there could
Kings
have
shoulda got him.
been another team
No.
that had a better package, a better deal for it. So I'd say all fairness for the Magic on making this move happen.
All's fair in love and war.
But
You're not wrong.
nah,
It's not ridiculous.
I
to
think
say
it's
that.
I think it's perfect because I mean we talked about the NFL last year, I think, or last week, and you could sign coaches when they're in
Oh yeah,
the
that's
actual
dumb. It is dumb.
in
That
the
is
Super
dumb.
Bowl. Those
That is
coaches
dumb.
that are playing in the Super Bowl could
Yeah.
be interviewed the week before
Yeah.
and then be like, "Hey, I just got hired. Like, so after this week, then I'm gone."
Ben
I don't
Johnson.
like that.
So with basketball, it's like I understand that because coaches and shit. With basketball, though, these teams are trying to fix stuff as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it, but I wish there was a rule where you had to wait because it really threw me off. And also, like, the main topic of a lot of basketball shows are going to be, oh, Desmond Bane got traded. Now we got to wait 6 months or whatever it is, maybe 5 months to go see him actually play in Orlando. And the NBA Finals is happening right now.
I don't see the difference though.
Right
'cause,
now.
like, I
Well,
mean,
because it's the finals is already not getting enough coverage as it should. Like on
Buns.
sports talk shows, they're talking about what is Dak Prescott's future or what is Dak Prescott's legacy. Like the NBA Finals is going on right now. Why are we talking about Dak Prescott?
because
He's
it's
a
just
bum,
not. It doesn't
too.
have the.
I remember when it was
Willpower.
Warriors Cavs every year. They were talking about the finals
Yeah.
every single day.
That's because they had LeBron and
we
Stephen
knew
Curry.
what was going to happen though.
It was LeBron and Stephen Curry.
This finals is actually pretty unpredictable.
There's gonna I
The
don't know.
Pacers could win game 6.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the thing. This series is all about good basketball
Yeah.
right now. That's the only thing.
Mhm.
With LeBron and Steph, it's like, let's hype this up
The
as much
legends.
as like legends.
Yeah.
This is the end of their this and that,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. And they did it properly, but then
Yeah.
this, like, what are they gonna do? A lot of people in the US don't even know who SGA is. Like they see his
Well,
face.
When
Yeah,
Stephen A is
but-
sitting there playing solitaire during the game.
That's also a thing. Like, even if like NBA analysts are not even watching a game that they're at, like an exciting game that they're at, how do we
Bro
expect?
tweeted that was fake, or like it was during a timeout, and
Yeah.
then the full video came out where they were
It
actually
wasn't.
playing on the court.
Oh,
Oh, super funny.
Hey, that was KD who exposed him, by the way.
Really?
KD's the one that posted that on his story.
shout out KD.
Shout out.
Or
KD.
maybe there was someone else and KD reposted it, but
Yeah.
I do remember seeing KD's story and it said, "Come on, Stephen A."
Look,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna use the hate word, but I don't like Stephen A. Smith because he's a loudmouth and he doesn't know what he's talking about.
I like Stephen A.
I like that he's
His story
entertaining.
is great.
His story is cool, but he doesn't know what he's talking about anymore.
I like his show on
Sometimes he does.
ESPN and when he's on
Sometimes.
shows on ESPN, but not when he's, in the main pre and post game coverage of the NBA Finals. No.
That's been horrible.
Yeah.
The pre and
Him
post
and
game and the
Bro,
halftime have
get
been
them
bad.
out of here. Bro.
Yeah.
ESPN
been
got to
bad.
have some overhaul next year, bro.
When he has his own like spot and he has time to think about it,
Yeah.
he speaks truth. But when he's live on TV and just like kind of just spitting everything, I'm like,
Yeah.
this guy's
Wasn't
not even
watching
watching
the
the game. He's not watching the game.
Hey, you're probably not wrong about that, but I mean, we're not right on every take. I was wrong about JDub. I said
No,
he's not the
yeah.
best. He can't be the second best player,
Yeah.
and he's obviously showing that he can be.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not going to be right on every single take. It's not about that. It's really about how you go about it, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Okay.
no, it's a little I don't know, he's past his time.
Yeah, well, going
Hey,
back
if you
to
see
the
the
trade.
Stephen A. Smith, though, all respect. I
Hey,
love you.
come
man.
on the show, Stephen A. Desmond Bane going to the Magic for KCP, Cole Anthony, and 4 unprotected first-round picks and 1 first-round pick swap. Devin, you asked me on the way here, how many of those picks are actually good picks? One
Yeah,
of those
there's
will be
only
good
one.
picks.
Yeah.
And I think it's from Phoenix in like 2027. And they'll probably be not good.
They're not going to be good.
And
Give us book.
but the other picks are pretty much just from Orlando, and they're going to be late 20s picks. So I mean, doesn't mean that much. So it's a dub for Orlando, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah.
And I mean, with KCP and then Cole Anthony, like Cole Anthony did a lot of good stuff for Orlando, but he just wasn't that guy to take him over the hump.
Yeah.
And, like even when because he started like when Jalen Suggs went out,
Mhm.
and we didn't see any change really for
Yeah.
It's a little tough.
It is. It is. I mean, I like him as a player. I think he did a lot in Orlando.
Yeah.
Like, he's an NBA player.
100%.
But yeah, what does this mean for Memphis though? Are they trading John Morant? Are they trading Jaren Jackson? What are they going to do? Why would they do this right now?
I think yes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're both amazing players, Ja and JJJ, but it's just without that link on the outside with Desmond Bane, it's just like they don't really have any identity, I guess.
Yeah.
Not that Desmond Bane was that kind of player to bring a team like a 1A.
Desmond
or 1B.
Bane was beefing with everyone.
He was
it seemed
beefing
like
with
this
everybody.
year.
Yeah. And then
I know what the identity
Santi
is.
Aldama also was like getting this too. So
he's probably gone.
He's probably gone. Come to Sacramento, Santi.
Well, yeah, I guess
Santi and Sac.
you really gotta, you don't know what to expect after they did that Taylor Jenkins move like right at the end of the season. So, I mean, maybe if they would have got, farther in the playoffs and not blown a 30-point lead in the last game.
Hey, Ja got hurt.
Was that OKC?
That was OKC.
Yeah.
Hey, Ja said he figured him out.
Okay.
And then he got
also
hurt.
said the West ain't no problem like 4 years ago, and he hasn't
I'm
been
fine
past
out
the
west.
first
I'm
round.
fine
I'm fine out west.
Since then.
Good luck, Ja.
But yeah, I mean, after they did that, and then after this, anything can happen, really, I think.
Well,
But I don't know where they'll end up going.
You know what question I'm going to ask?
Should the Kings get Ja?
Is John Morant coming to
Let's give him
Sacramento?
DeMar.
Oh, I don't think they would do that.
No, they wouldn't.
Hey,
Give him
honestly,
Zach LaVine.
as long as
Zach
we got
LaVine.
a big brother to, follow him around and, make sure he behaves,
Give him
let's do it.
Give him Zach and Dev Carter.
If we get John Morant, that puts us at a whole new mindset. And I would be so happy with it. It gives us more of a direction, gives us someone to build around, gives us, a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think John Morant would be perfect in Sacramento. He probably doesn't want to come here.
No.
And the Memphis Grizzlies probably won't get rid of him. But if it does happen, I'm fully on board.
We're in a position where we also really don't know what's going to happen either.
No, we have no clue.
They're looking, the reports are they're looking at anything. I mean, they're trying to maybe get the Raptors.
Yeah, the Raptors are in everything.
7 or whatever. Maybe Malik to the Raptors.
Oh.
Maybe Ja, maybe Drew. So I mean, we really don't know what's going to happen until it happens. But
we're going to get Marcus Smart,
exciting.
or Malcolm Brogdon, and I don't want
say-
either.
We're going to re-sign
So maybe
Isaiah
take
Thomas.
RJ Barrett.
Hey, IT, get IT back.
RJ.
Nah,
I know.
He quote tweeted
take
that the 3-point guards in the last
Yeah.
10 years, and he was like, "Hey, and I'll come back too if they need me," or
That's why I
something
said
like that.
Get him back. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. We've been saying that for years now. But yeah, the Kings have a lot of question marks going forward. I'm very confused on what the Raptors want with Malik Monk since they have quickly. Like they're the same player.
Well,
I mean,
apparently
Malik
it
is
said if
better
they
in my
can't
opinion,
get
but-
KD, but
yeah.
why would you go from
KD
a
to
guy
Malik.
like KD to Malik?
Hey,
Yeah,
don't
that's two
disrespect
well,
Malik
it's
like
two
that.
whole different
Yeah.
players.
No, you're right.
And like you said, they got quickly.
They're also trying to get Giannis.
That's
Which,
what I
like,
saw.
They trying to do
not going to happen.
I don't
but
see that happening.
The Raptors are making moves. I don't know.
But I mean, I will say the Raptors have the picks to get Giannis.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
And I will say I don't really want to make a trade with the Raptors because they'll probably
finesse.
want our whole bankroll, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not with that.
Yeah. Well, who knows what the Kings are going to do going forward. I'm very nervous about it. New reports coming out every day about what they're trying to do. And that scares me because usually when that comes out, that's not going to happen.
No.
There's like 5 things they're trying to do. Get a point guard, get a wing, get a forward, get a pick in the top 20.
Every time
You're going to get 1 out of 5.
Every
maybe.
time we see a rumor, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
care.
what does this mean? I want some. If you can make a trade during the finals, then do it.
I'll
already.
believe it
Like,
when I see it.
might as well do it already.
Yeah.
Well, our guy Monte McNair signed
Oh.
with the LA Clippers.
As a consultant, though.
Yeah.
Advisor, consultant,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well,
Fred don't need an important role. He's still getting paid. He don't care.
he's still getting paid. Shout out to Monty. I was working at Ruth's Chris a couple of weeks ago, and there was a big party, like a work party. And the main guy sitting at the head of the table, he's wearing a Kings polo shirt, looked just like Monte McNair. I was set that it was Monte McNair, and I overheard his conversation, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that guy has a lot of trade value and all this stuff," talking about basketball. And I'm like, I'm asking the servers, like, "Wait, is that Monte McNair?" And they don't know who Monte McNair is, and ended up not being Monte McNair, but looked spot on with him. So, and he's wearing the Kings polo, which Monte McNair always wears. So
he's got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
somehow.
I was like, he probably isn't wearing Kings gear after getting fired
No.
from the Kings. So
Yeah.
that was
that
the,
is true.
that was the giveaway there. But I did think Monty was pulling
Nah,
up the
bro's still
Roosters.
repping the Kings.
Yeah, hey, maybe he is.
You
Not
see-
anymore though.
You see Davion Mitchell walking around Miami.
Oh
in his own
my
Yeah,
jersey.
in his own jersey.
I did see
Aura.
that. Yeah,
Insane.
I've
off the
never seen
charts.
never seen a player do
Never
that.
seen a player do that.
He must really love Miami, man. Was
Dude,
that the Heat culture
that
jersey
was the
too?
Heat cult-
Oh
that was
my
the ugly
God.
jersey.
Heat culture.
What is he doing, bro?
Is
He
Heat
might,
culture real?
Dude probably went out to the beach for the day and was like out there.
nah,
watching
he,
TV.
he
Like,
might have been on that boat with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs, bro. What is he
Bro,
doing out
Don't
there,
throw those
bro?
allegations on our boy Off Night, bro. Don't throw those
I don't believe
allegations
that.
on Off
I
Night.
don't
Come
believe
on. He wasn't on that boat with
Hey.
Diggs. Come on.
He's a kid.
Hey, shout out to Diggs though. Living life.
No, shout out, dude.
Don't shout him out. Why? He's living his life. There's nothing wrong
What
with
was
that.
going on? What? I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Okay.
Now I need to know the story.
He was on a boat partying with Cardi B. That's all it
Yeah.
was. And
That's
people
all
are
it
trying to
People are not trying. He did.
bring him down.
And then they interviewed him about it at like the OTAs, and he was like, "We had a conversation about it, but I ain't, it's personal. I'm not gonna release it." Yeah, some
Stuff on the boat.
sugar, pink sugar,
Pink sugar. All right.
I'm surprised.
pop rocks.
Dude, I still can't believe Stephon is a Patriot.
I know, and I
Yeah.
forgot that. Yeah.
well,
Don't shout him out.
Sorry, yeah. Don't,
I got to lock into football.
sorry. Yeah.
I got to lock into football.
Don't mean to get off topic.
Fantasy draft coming up soon.
Coming up soon.
Luke
Oh,
joining our league.
Yep.
I'm
Most
retired.
likely. No, you're not retiring.
You're not retiring.
Not retiring. Beam City Sports Fantasy Football League. Randy, Diego, I know you're in the
We
chat.
should try
Let's
to
get it
do
going.
we should try to do a little live stream for that. I feel like
Oh,
that'd be fun.
facts.
I'm
Also,
retired.
big announcement. We got 2 hoops up in the pool.
Uh-oh.
So pool
Uh-oh.
hoops vid
Cool
coming
thing
soon.
Coming up.
Coming very
Hey.
soon.
2v2, 3v3.
2v2.
James, you're not allowed, bro.
James, you better pull up. we need
Nah, I
we
ain't
need
guarding.
Prime Shack in the
Hey, I'm on Jackson's team.
pool.
Hey,
Jackson's probably a shooter.
shit,
in the
I'm
pool.
like Prime Jordan in the pool. You
That
want to be
thing-
on my team?
That's USA Mello in the pool. No lie. No
Be on
lie.
my team.
That's
Who?
USA Mello. You.
Oh,
USA
I
Mello.
got the length, man. You like
Something just came
Uh-oh.
out from Shams. Breaking news.
Shams.
Breaking news.
the Oh, what? The Bus family is entering agreement to sell majority ownership of the Lakers to Mark Walter, the CEO and chairman of Diversified Holding Company.
Device Brewing?
No.
Okay. Also, Sac State to join Big West in all sports but football starting in 26, 27.
God,
That came out
bruh.
20 minutes ago.
What?
Wait, okay, that's not good.
No, I
No,
would.
'cause
Well,
we're not
yeah.
going to be D1 football.
Oh.
It's going to be D1.
So
for
everything
else.
but football?
Everything but. Yeah.
Hey, Mikey Williams
Hey,
getting into the
basketball-
tournament. We pulling up.
Wait,
to a
so,
game.
so are the Buses really selling the Lakers, bro?
So LeBron's side is leaving.
Wait, that's crazy.
Jeannie, she gone.
Wait.
Happy International Women's Day. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Well, while Luke's looking up some stuff, Kevin Durant, we talked about it before.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Sac State already D1, but it said they're joining the Big West.
Well, yeah,
so
they're D1, but
just
they're
reporting.
trying to get into the big tournament.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Shout
what it's
out
called.
Alec in the chat. Bigger conference.
Yeah, bigger conference. It is a bigger conference, but it sucks that they're not. The football team isn't moving. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I saw the
Buns.
quarterback throw out the first pitch at the A's game, I think a couple nights ago.
Get the
Oh, yeah.
stadium
Shout out.
built. Wait,
Oh, the guy
Sac
from
Republic.
Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us
Yeah.
use your stadium.
Oh yeah, shout out Soccer Republic. I'll talk about that later.
Okay. Well, KD wants to land with the Heat, the Rockets, or the Spurs. Where's he
Preferred
going?
Spurs. He's preferred the Spurs.
Oh.
But the Rockets have a offer on the table right now.
Yeah.
Like they have.
I wonder if Jabari Smith is in that because if he is, the Suns are doing that.
100%.
And they have the 10th pick, which is probably in
Why?
that as well.
Why would they not take that?
I mean, if I'm the Rockets, I probably wouldn't trade Jabari. I would do anything I can to keep him.
I
He
mean,
fits in that team perfectly.
He does, but like
He can play center. He can play forward. He can play the 3.
I think with KD's last 2 years, I think Houston might be the perfect spot for him to go.
It's going to be a good spot.
Like, I
and-
think he needs to shut up and take whatever
And
deal
dribble?
he can get. No,
No. Please, no.
No.
Cut that.
I mean, he's
what do you mean?
he's being a little too stingy for, I mean, where he's at in his career, and
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to go to Minnesota.
he doesn't want to go to Minnesota. He
Bro
doesn't want to
thinks
go
he's
here.
I
doesn't-
thought he-
Jimmy Butler.
I
He's
thought he
trying
was
to
cool
go
with
back to
Ant,
the
right?
Warriors, bro.
I thought he was cool with
I
Ant.
know it's a players' league, and I know like they get their respect for it, but at the same time, you gotta play not shut up and play, but you gotta play basketball, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
you gotta
Minnesota
play.
would be a good fit.
Minnesota would be a good fit.
I don't know why he wouldn't
Minnesota
want
I
to go.
do know in the past though,
crazy.
like I I mean, he's had issues with Minnesota and Minnesota fans in the past. That's the only reason why I see.
On
So did
Twitter?
Jeff Teague.
Was it on Twitter?
That's where Jeff Teague went
No,
to.
I'm pretty sure
went
it was in
to
person. Like,
went to fall off.
Yeah.
He was an all-star. Then he went to Minnesota, and he fell off.
But only place besides the Atlanta Hawks that 1 year is where I remember Jeff Teague is the Timberwolves.
Yeah. So for KD, this is what I was gonna say. Did you guys see Iman Shumpert on the pregame show of the finals?
No.
They were talking about KD, and Shams was on the. It was like a panel of Shumpert, your boy Iman,
That's my boy.
and Shams was on there, and Shams is known for telling people things. Like he's told numbers on the board, some things when he's been on the show, and then he's like, hey, make sure you don't say anything about this though, because it's not a full report yet. But I have heard some rumors that this might happen, and Iman Shumpert went out and said, hey, I think KD's a perfect fit in San Antonio. All this stuff. And then Shams' facial reaction and his like mannerisms after he said it was kind of looking at the camera like it's going to happen. So I'm pretty set that KD will be a Spur in a week.
Do you think it's going to be both picks or one pick?
It's not the second pick. No
It's
way.
not.
They're not trading the second pick. I think the Spurs hung up the phone when the Suns said we want Castle or the second pick. And they said, all right, hang up the phone. And then I think they probably called him back, said, we'll give you. Oh, and Jeremy Sohan,
That's the thing.
who is a troll on social media, posted looking for barbers in Phoenix.
Yeah.
He's a troll, though. He could be trolling.
Could be, but
I still believe because of
Also,
because you want to piss off the Spurs
That's kind of
organization?
crazy.
Like,
I know. I mean, the only team that Sohan's ever hated on social media was the Lakers. He goes,
Yeah.
he goes
I thought
hard.
you were going to say the Kings.
No, he goes hard against the Lakers for even if they're not playing the Lakers. He'll hate on the Lakers on social media for anything. Yeah, respect, I
I
guess.
think he was a Kings fan at heart.
Yeah, maybe in 02. But yeah, so KD, in my opinion, he's a Spur already.
That's cooked.
I know.
I didn't mean it like to shut up KD, but like, dude needs to accept that he's not where he was 5 years ago in his career. Or like,
hey man, he's still like that.
He's still like that, but for how much longer? I know we said it about LeBron, and LeBron did it for another 10 years.
Yeah.
But KD has gone through a lot more injuries and turmoil.
Yeah.
To like, I don't know. It's in the last few years.
That's true. Well, moving on, closing out the show with your favorite part of the day. The San Francisco Giants acquired all-star slugger Rafael Devers from the Red Sox. Out of nowhere deal. No one saw this coming. The Giants traded Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, and James Tibbs, who's one of the top prospects that the Giants had. But
first round pick,
good move
last year.
How are you feeling? First game yesterday, right?
Excited.
Yeah.
I mean, they still only scored 3 runs yesterday or 2 runs yesterday, but I mean, I get to go. I'll be there next Thursday, so I'll get to experience the vibe in person. But it really, like, through the TV, it just seems like the whole stadium was packed. They gave him a standing ovation in his first 2 at bats.
Every at bat, right?
Yeah, basically. And then the second at bat, that ball he hit. I mean, that was.
Crushed.
I'm just hoping I get to see, like, that's what we're gonna see for the next 8 years. And I'm glad they, if you can't sign a hitter in free agency, then go get one who's under team control for the next 8 years. And, if that's the way you got to do it, then that's the way you got to do it. But I like that, ownership actually, said, all right, let's do it. And, they obviously have to give the last okay. But I think it's a little bit easier when Buster Posey is the one presenting you with it. And he's the one going like, yeah, this is going to be good for us. Especially for the next 8 years. You got Adames for 7, Chapman for like 6. So, I mean, they got the core built. Next, I think they need to extend Ramos before, they spend too much money. But, I mean, the lineup, it just, looking at it yesterday and, going 1, 2, 3, it feels like they have a legit 1, 2, 3 now for the first time in a while. So it's very exciting. And, I think they definitely have a better shot at the division now. But, they gotta keep winning. Verlander coming back today, so that's exciting. And hopefully Devers, makes everybody else around him in the lineup better on offense.
Yeah, that'd be big. Who do they play next? You said Thursday when you go?
The Marlins.
Oh, weird game.
Finish sweep.
Yeah, weird game.
Well, I wanted to go to a game where they had a good chance to win. So.
Yeah, going to a Giants loss sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to Devers, man. Yesterday hit that double. Standing O in his first at bat, he struck out in that at bat. Looked like he was swinging for the fences. Then he took a little off his swing, hit an RBI double in the gap. But then what happened in the 9th inning? Because you got to walk me through it.
Well, first of all, in the 8th inning, there was a short fly ball. Shout out Stephen Kwan, the left fielder for the Indians. He's from Sac. Shout out.
He's from Sac?
Or somewhere around here. Yeah, the Bay Area, somewhere in Northern California. And so he got to like, there was a fly ball. I think runners on first and second. Schmidt was on second, and he kind of deked him, I think, or it was just Schmidt also had just hit a ball off his ankle. So like he was probably trying to, if that ball drops, I'm going to get thrown out at third on a force. I remember that now. He was trying to, and then it wasn't too far. It was just the footwork trying to get back was sloppy, and he got thrown back out, picked off. So that kind of ended that rally. And then in the 9th inning, they loaded the bases with no outs.
Against Class A.
Against Class A.
Looked like Class B.
And then Flores hit or whoever was hitting, Ramos hit a pop-up, and then Dom Smith hit a pop-up, and it's just like, back to not being able to do anything with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, and then, kind of left it up to Schmidt for the last out, and he struck out. But that second, the Dom Smith fly ball was, it's very controversial right now because people are saying he could have made it. I think it was. And when you look at it, like somebody took a video from like the side angle from the park. It definitely looks like he could have scored, especially because the end of it was like
he bobbled. He
had to body it up. So, I mean, I think that's kind of just a risk that you got to take. And Matt Williams has kind of been risk averse over there as the third base coach. But I mean, I think Jung-Hoo could have made that for sure, and just not leaving it up to a guy who's not the best against right-handed pitching. I mean, I think he's hitting like 210 against right-handed pitching this season. He's been better this year, but it's like. He's throwing 101 with a slider that's 98. That's just dropping off the table. It's not a comfortable at bat for any righty. So I think it would have just been a good risk to take in that situation, but they didn't, and it ended up biting them. But the Guardians are scuffling right now, so they should come back and take these next 2. And then, I think they play the Red Sox this weekend, so that'll be very fun.
Okay, that would be big. Oh. In SF,
yeah.
Okay, so Devers is gonna have a big series in that one.
Oh yeah.
But what happened with that Ramos pop-up? Was he the one that hit it to left, or was it Dom Smith?
Dom Smith. Wait, when
they should have tagged? I thought it was Dom Smith.
It was Dom Smith. I mean, it was medium deep into left. I mean, it's one of the in-betweeners. I mean, but Stephen Kwan does have a good arm, and I figured they were taking that into account, but. It was just, he sailed it. And you can't really predict that. If a guy's got a good arm and it's like a medium fly ball like that, and you still want another chance to, tie the game, it's like, I get it. I get why they didn't do it, but also I could see why they should have done it because it would have just been a good risk to take instead of, an uncomfortable at bat for a righty.
Yeah. Definitely tough loss for the Giants, but
I mean, and they just been terrible base running all year.
Yeah.
They've been doing that. Ramos just got picked off at third. Schmidt last night. Fitzgerald's felling down in between second and first like 3 times.
Oh my God.
I mean, but I will say it's the younger guys who are trying to be more aggressive on the bases. So I mean, you like the aggressive mistakes, but just not in big situations like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it happen somehow.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Well, hopefully the Kings make a move. Hopefully the A's start winning. Hopefully the Giants start winning.
Pick it up.
Well, all right. I guess.
No, I was gonna close it out with the unfortunate news of the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay, do it.
Losing.
I'm not even a hockey.
They lost back-to-back against the Panthers for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Florida, right?
Yeah.
Florida Panthers. Yeah.
Unfortunately, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Florida Panthers won 5-1.
Did the Oilers lose last year to the Panthers too?
Yeah. So that's Warriors Cavs in hockey.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sucks because Connor McDavid on the Oilers he's one of
McDavid.
Yeah.
Go.
He's one of the favorites in the league, and it's unfortunate to see him go down twice like this. But then Matthew Tkachuk over in Florida, he's also one of the greatest modern hockey players of all time.
Steph versus Braun right there. Always got to bring you back to NBA.
Hey, let's go Vegas.
No.
I mean,
what?
Sharks.
I
forgot about
San Jose. Yeah, let's go. Man, give Sacramento
Vegas.
A hockey team.
Hey, that would be lit.
They tried to get it. I think I talked about it before. That Vivek tried to get the Coyotes when they were leaving Arizona.
Oh, he did.
And then he went to Utah.
What would our hockey name be here?
The Sacramento Gold Rush.
Monarchs.
Hey, yeah.
Sacramento Gold Rush.
Let's bring WNBA back too.
Yeah.
Hey, Caitlin Clark.
Hey, we won't.
Shout out.
Wait, my ICU. I forgot. Is it Sophie
Cunningham?
Or Sophie?
Cunningham?
Sophie Cunningham, bro.
I know you like her,
bro. Nah, chill on that. Nah, because I've been last year, dude. Did you see what happened? I mean, we're doing Draymonds and then not getting in trouble like Draymond in the WNBA is crazy.
Yeah.
like that.
She had to stand up for her girl.
I've been saying since last year, like they didn't have anybody that would really like, because she been getting beat up for the last the whole rookie season, right? And they didn't really have any like. They needed they need James Johnson over there. Is what I'm saying. And so like when Sophie Cunningham like threw that girl to the ground. And then she got up, and there was 2 girls in her face, and she grabbed her by the head and was like pushing her. I was like,
pulling the hair.
Oh yeah! I woke up this morning and saw that on Twitter. I was like, this is like they literally need to get a girl who's just gonna like literally fight whenever somebody does that to Caitlin Clark. Because I mean, and I'm not gonna bash these women out here in the WNBA, but why are they doing that? Like that's your cash cow, bro. That's your Steph Curry. That's your LeBron. I don't understand.
If I'm in the W, I'm going at Caitlin. I'm talking because Caitlin talks mad stuff.
But she's good,
she's
tough.
I'm not going to target
her. I'm not going to target her, but
no. But if she's talking to me, I'm backing down. Yeah.
But like this is basketball, and like there's so much hate going around.
There's too much hate. Yeah.
Shut up.
The hate is not
basketball.
Yeah. She's the best player in the league.
We're watching basketball right now.
Best player in the league.
I don't see
I ain't doing that just because. But if I maybe since these girls can't hit her back with the tween, pull
Dude,
up
some of the
40,
stuff she's been pulling lately is crazy.
I think they just get pissed that they can't do it.
They got to do violence.
I need to see Sabrina versus Caitlin in like the playoffs or something. Sabrina, Ionescu versus Caitlin.
Well, we need the Sky versus the Fever. Right?
No, the Sky are horrible.
I wanted to shout out Kayla Thornton from the Valkyries, though.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
they're tough.
22 points and 12 rebounds the other day.
Expansion team going crazy.
Beat the Seattle Storm.
Beat the Liberty. Gave them their first loss.
Oh no, that was
Caitlin in the Fever.
She was cooking.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm getting that mixed
up. That was when she pulled up for like 9 straight.
Yeah, 9 points in 45 seconds.
Bro, she might be.
Are we going to SF tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
the Fever play the Valkyries.
Oh my god! I want to go to that.
My friend Heather, who's always in the chat, too bad she's on the chat right now. She's going to the game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. You're lucky.
Dude.
Yeah,
that would be so crazy.
Gotta witness greatness. Bro.
Yeah, I really want to see her play.
All right, we gotta make a trip soon.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. All right, well, we're closing out Beam City Sports. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Go subscribe, go like. We'll post a Believe in A's tomorrow. So shout out to Believe once again. But yeah, we'll be back. Beam City Sports. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, sir. Go Kings.